They thought we wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Yo, Imani, talk your talk. Facts, facts. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie they've been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. So, truth hit harder when the system broke. Talk to 'em. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fear, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now, cause I brought the receipts. Let's go, let's go. See the cameras flash when the hammers start. Whole room shook when they spoke from the heart, trying to cut me off. Now I claim my time. Every interruption just exposed the crime. History long, but the memory longer. Pressure make diamonds, pressure make stronger. You can twist headlines, spin every thread. Can't rewrite facts when the truth been said. Everybody gangster behind that desk. To the numbers show the public been stressed. Families hurting while they paint pretty pictures. Meanwhile, pockets getting thin about a minute. Facts. Tell them stop capping quick gas like games. People buy eggs with a pocket full of change. You can fake statistics on a PowerPoint slide, but the checkout line don't never lie. Who gon' speak? We will. Who gon' fight? All night. Who gon' stand when they kill our rights? We will, we will. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie they've been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. Truth hit harder when the system broke. Let's ride, let's ride. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fair, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now, cause I brought the receipts. Courtrooms echo, but the streets hit louder. Every bad ruling made the movement prouder. Take one vote, then we register 10. Built from the block, let the people win. Can't silence voices born from struggle. Built these dreams through pain and hustle. Grandma marched so I could speak. Now I'm 10 toes down every single week. Every chapter got another revelation. People waking up across the nation. Ain't no crime without confrontation. Truth is the spark for transformation. Wake up, ain't about left, ain't about right. It's about wrong hiding under bright lights. Question everything, don't push your names. Power belongs to the people, not the fame. If they tell you hush, if they tell you wait, move now. If they tell you quit, if they shut one door, if they shut one door, build more doors. Look. Look, I don't need permission. I was born with a mission. Every generation got a choice. I'm choosing resistance. Feel like a weapon, mic like a torch. Truth keep burning till it like the hope pour. Kingdoms fall when the people unite. Darkness disappear when they turn on the light. Ain't chasing black, I'm chasing change. Every verse another broken chain. Break it, break it, break it. Every sister standing up. Every brother finding peace. Every time watching us. Learning courage, don't decrease it, multiplies. I can't move his seats. I ain't come to play. Truth don't fall when the headlines fade. Built for the pressure, built for the fight. We keep pushing to the future, look bright. Let's go. Hands to the sky, voices repeat. Justice ain't given, you earn every seat. From the block to the ballot, from the mic to the street. We ain't leaving till the people complete their mission. The mission facts, the movement, stand up, no fear. We brought the receipts. Truth.
Sometimes life don't break you. It introduces you to the version of yourself God always knew was there. Yeah. Golden.
Dreams felt bigger than the world I know. Had a pocket full of faith and a heart full of scars. Still thanking God while wishing on stars. Mama said, baby, keep your head held high. Even when you're learning how to Before I grin, they couldn't steal what heaven put within. I keep rising again, 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 yeah. Find your peace, find your life, find your life. Keep believing you'll be alright. Sometimes healing don't look pretty. Sometimes grace gets real gritty. Sometimes fake sounds like silence. Choosing love over violence. Every mountain made me stronger. Every season lasted longer. But somehow I kept breathing even when I stopped believing. See, the mirror started changing. Not because my face was different. My soul finally caught up with what God already envisioned. You don't need permission to become who you were born to be. That's freedom. Keep walking. Who told you you were too broken? Who convinced you your story was over? Who said your value depended on somebody else's opinion? No, no, no. You're still chosen. You're still worthy. You're still breathing. That means he isn't finished. Hands up, lift your head. Hope ain't dead. Hope ain't dead. Love yourself. Trust yourself. God ain't left. I wear my scars like medals now. No more hiding, no more settling now. Every chapter built another queen. Every valley made my vision clean. I'm not running from yesterday. I'm thinking that without those stones, I never know how strong the roots could get. Now I'm planting seeds instead of pain. Teaching hearts how to love again. Maybe that's what purpose is. Turning your survival into somebody else's heart. I'm gonna find my happy again. No more living for somebody else's lens. Every sunrise, 'cause another chance to begin. I'm still staring, I'm still believing, I'm still here, still dreaming, still grateful, still growing again, 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 again. Your beginning doesn't decide your ending. Your pain doesn't erase your purpose. Your losses don't cancel your future. If you're still here, there's still joy waiting for you. Find your happy again. Than the world I know. Had a pocket full of faith and a heart full of scars. Still thanking God while wishing on stars. Mama said, baby, keep your head held high. Even when you're learning how to say goodbye. People see the smile, never see the tears. Never count the prayers, never count the years. I learned pain can build a palace if your spirit keeps its balance. Lost some people, lost some sleep. Found a version of me the hurt couldn't keep. Yeah, ad libs. Keep going, don't stop. God got me, I hear you. Every closed door made another hallway. Every broken heart made another story. Every setback was preparing glory. I wasn't buried, I was playing. Let's go. I'm
Sometimes faith sounds waste. Sometimes healing. You'll be alright. Sometimes lay in bed. Sometimes life gon' break you.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden, and we are back, y'all, with another live. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. Y'all know I've been a little bit sick with y'all. So outside of my regular raspy voice, my voice may be going in and out just a little bit, but I got my tea here, not no, talks with some real actual tea. But it's about 6:20 p.m. here, y'all, Eastern Time in the Carolinas in the United States. And it is a little bit later again than what we typically go live. Child, it's a lot going on today. It's been a very exciting Friday. Okay. If you know, you know. But anyway, y'all, we are here. And we did do a live yesterday where we were listening to a very great interview with the R&B legend Kelly Price. And so we wanted to come back and do a part two of that this evening. Keep it very light, nothing too, serious or whatnot, like our politics and our history stuff that we do over here. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful, excellent day in whatever respectful time zone you're in, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night. A few of you guys, I make my rounds or whatnot. I try to as best as I can to come visit y'all and kick it with y'all for a bit. So I seen a few of y'all earlier, and thank you so much for joining me over here on my live this evening. I really appreciate your presence here. So let's go ahead and shout out to Asher. What is up, Asher? Thank you so much for coming in. I'm glad you like that song, that intro song there. And I'll tell you a little bit about that song in just a minute. And what's up, Scam Collectly? Thank you for coming. This is my first time seeing you here, but welcome. What's up, Happy Life? How you doing, Happy Life? Thank you for coming over. We really appreciate that. We appreciate your time as well. And I know y'all have to sometimes split your time because there's a lot of great channels and content creators out here. And sometimes we all going live at maybe the same time or around the same time. And so sometimes you may stretch your time thin or try to distribute amongst everyone that you want to support and, check out. What's up, Blueberry? How you doing, Blueberry? What's happening today? Oh, child, I was having and of course, Mama War is in the background. And yes, I have my lovely co-host Imani here with me. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring her up to the stage. So Imani, how are you doing, girl? What's going on? I know it's later there for you than it is for me. How's the weather? How you feeling? What's up? Happy Friday.
Well, well, well. What a Friday. What an end. What an end to
What
a
a
Friday. Yeah, it's been about 95 degrees here all day, but it looks like it went up to about 110 in the last hour.
not a hundred
let's just
ten.
let's just say Kimmy got some good news, and
Oh,
yeah, Kimmy got some good news. Actually, that last track was quite relevant to what's been going on out here. There's been some strange ish going on. And I I think I'll just jump right in. And the first person that I'll deal
Wait,
with,
wait.
mm,
Girl, you gonna jump right in 2 feet
mm,
first? Like you gonna do
yeah,
it? Go.
well, sorry,
You gonna jump in there,
I'll let
golden
you lead
style?
me. Let you lead us into this because there's a
No,
couple of people I need to address this evening.
no. You jump right
No,
in.
and not in a. I'm not going to go on a rant because today's been I did say the circus might be leaving town yesterday, and looky here.
To speak about profit. Okay, it's a thing. Well. Go ahead, girl. You got it.
So, um, I just happened to um fall on a live that was done by Temper. It was the one where Nick was professing your undying, I don't know what, for her. And there were several things said in that live. But one of the things I want to address with you, Nick, is I'm going to tell you because what happens is you guys think that you can defend anybody you like. But when we come out and defend our people, and before I start, hi Asha, hi Blueberry, hi Mama D, hi anybody, oh, Happy Life, hi to you all. Sorry for my rudeness. When we defend the people we want to defend, then it's wrong. So, first of all, I'll start with Nick the Mountain Goat. Nick, I said to Snoopy that she doesn't know what went on, as in your talks with Golden behind the scene. I said talks. I didn't imply there was anything else. It's obviously where your mind and Snoopy's mind traveled to when I said that you and Golden were talking behind the scene. And off the back of that, all of a sudden, Golden has this unbelievable desire for you. Yeah? Throws herself at you. Then you ratchet it up a bit more and say, and we'll deal with the cultural references later. You say that when I said to you about Golden's legal case, no, I didn't say it to you. I actually just said when you come for the king, you better not miss. And you and Snoopy, yeah, because you're talking about whether or not you should be in black culture. And this is a classic example of why, which we'll deal with later. But you and Snoopy decided to turn that into some love thing that's going on between me and Golden. Because that's where your minds are at, okay? Because you also then said that she was coming on to Lady T by calling her my girl. Calling her my girl. She was coming on to her because she came on to you. I don't know what in the hell you've been reading or listening to, but it says more about you where your mind goes to, and you, Snoopy, and you, Jane, because now I'm living my best bisexual life, according to you guys. I mean, make what you say make sense, because I'm not concerned about any of your lives. But the fact that you can choose to weaponize sexuality because you can't get at me says more about you. You're flailing. You're flailing, you're using anything. And this is the type of smear campaign that you guys thrive on. But let's just go back to you, Nick. You were on Vampy's channel for months. You said that Ralph was running a death cult. You said he was Nature Boy 2.0. And then you say, I don't know why he's talking about me. You were saying those things on a daily basis. Any opportunity you got to talk about Ralph, to talk about Golden, to talk about Mama D on Vampy's channel, you took that opportunity. Even if there was just a G in a comment and you don't like it because people that care for them defend them, but you can defend whoever you like. But we can't defend our people. Is this where we're at now? Now, I said to you about genealogy that you advertised that you were joining the Atwood group in December 2024. And you said on Vampy's channel, because you see, Nick, I deal with facts. Deal with facts. You said on Vampy's channel, round about March the 31st, that you were brought in to do a genealogy test on Julia Wendell. Julia Wendell was the girl that was stalking the McCanns. Stalking is a very big thing these days. I wonder why. And she went to jail. So I asked you, I'd like to know the results. I did not say anything about your business. I said I'd be interested in what the results were from that genealogy test. So, with that in mind, you then decide to say that you want to know about where I teach. I'm talking about stuff you've put on YouTube. You put all your stuff out there. My stuff isn't on YouTube. But on the back of that, QQ then decides that she's going to wander around YouTube. She goes to Mel's channel and then she asked, and by the way, someone sent it and I clipped it and I've got the recording. So, on the back of you wanting to find out where I am and what I do in my private life, you and Snoopy said that on Temper's channel. QQ goes to Mel's channel and asks Donat to expose me, an ex-subscriber of his channel. And you wonder
Mm.
why people get pissed off with your behavior. And Donat said he's not interested in any beef that they've got. This is what the problem is with people like you. This is what the problem is with people like you. You want everybody to get involved in your beef. And he said, and you want me to dox her and terrorize her for you. That's what he said to QQ on the back of what you said on Temper's channel. So I'm telling you, you're on notice about this. You are on notice. I told you guys I don't play games, but you want to keep playing these silly little games, and you're going to get your silly little selves in trouble. So carry on with what you're doing. That's for you, Nick. And as for you, Snoopy, you were there joining in with my great bisexual life. But you see, I don't actually care about that because I know who I am. It's you guys that want to weaponize people's sexuality. Because what is wrong with being a lesbian? Because guess what, Nick? You're one. So is that something that you should use as a tool? What, you think you can threaten me with that? You are a joke. You are actually a joke using your own community as a weapon against someone else. You need to fix up. Your lives are sad. The other thing, Snoopy, that I wanted to talk about was 3 weeks ago, I went to someone's channel to ask them why they were blackfishing. You put a post up to say I was bullying her. But lo and behold, another content creator calls that person out. So now you do an about face and she's a terrible person. But before, you actually posted, and your post is still up, that we were bullies for asking for an explanation. That is why I say you're a hypocrite and you have selective outrage, because what you say means nothing. Because 3 weeks ago, I was a bully for asking that same person to give me an explanation of why she sent me a message as a black woman. But now you're saying it's absolutely terrible. So it's only terrible when it's someone that you respect that brings it up. And because you don't like me, it was terrible for me to bring it up with that person. That's why I say you need to check yourself because you're all over the place putting your nose in other people's business. You didn't even know what I was asking her about. Oh, you did, but you didn't care then. But you care when another content creator makes it an issue. You're a joke. That's all I got to say for a start. But I'll pass the baton on to you, my dear.
Well. I love when you get the housekeeping started, girl. You just do it so well. Yeah, where do I start? Where do I start? So we have seen so much transpire over the past week and some things that have transpired within the past hour, right? And so I think that adds a lot of context to a lot of things. But what can I speak on here? Let's see. Maybe I'll start with the fact that I am now being thrown around the YouTube streets as, uh, a street runner or, just throwing myself at anybody and everybody on the YouTube streets. That's supposed to be what my character is on this platform. I think that leads to a heavy case of defamation because it's not clearly who I am and what I'm doing. And so I think when people, get upset or they dislike you and things of that nature, maybe according to some of the things we heard in the past hour, you would be careful about the things that you say and you do on this platform because at some point they always will catch up to you. So outside from that, as far as let's see what's next. Yeah, weaponizing sexuality when you are a person who is under the umbrella of the LGBTQIA plus community, I think that's very distasteless. We don't necessarily subscribe to that. We are both heterosexual women, and there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian or a homosexual or a transsexual or any of things. And we don't weaponize those things against people, but people from the very own community seem to think that it's funny to weaponize that against others because they dislike them. I think that maybe you should take maybe several more looks in the mirror about yourself and what community and identity that you may have. Because if you were really, serious about it and cared about it, you wouldn't use it as a weapon onto other people, all because you have a disdain for them at the time. What else should we speak about? Housekeeping. Hmm. Yeah, Snoopy Doo. Definitely. Very much hypocrisy coming from the likes of you over there on your platform. Just like Imani said, you tried to make us out to be bad people for calling out something that was very distasteful when it comes to our community. And then when another person that you actually like, right, also equally called out that behavior for being distasteful. Now all of a sudden, like Imani said, you about foot. You're turning around in the different direction and now wanting to weaponize your anger and your hate towards that person. But you didn't originally want to do that when two black women called it out that you dislike. But when one, we don't know, avatar person called it out that you do like, it was okay for you to also get on the bandwagon and now say, yeah, you know what? That is kind of distasteful. Yeah, that shouldn't have been done. That is inappropriate. Are you a bootlicker or what? Next for housekeeping, what do we have? Nick Mountain Go. We had conversations. I know we had conversations. And I think most people have gotten to know me on a pretty deep level, understand my personality. They understand how I joke. They understand how I have a loving heart. And they understand how I am very open to talk to anybody about anything. But yeah, we had conversations on the phone, honey, but nobody was throwing themselves at you. I think that that is really a reach. Um, and then to sit over on Temper's channel, right, and have these talks about some of the things that we have said over here on this platform. That let's be very clear: when we go live and we hear you guys regurgitate some of the things that we say over here, it's very literal It is very obvious that you listen to us from beginning to end because you know everything word for word. It is also very obvious that you guys follow us and you stalk us because you go to channels where we decide to go to show support that you've never been to before. But somehow you pop up there and you do the things that you do. As far as get in the chats and try to point out only specific comments from a specific person that you have a specific problem with. And these are larger channels that basically have thousands of subscribers and maybe 200 people in the chat. But yet, you seem to put your magnifying glass on my comments. I think that is weird. And that's what warrants me to say that I believe you people are stalkers. So, outside from that, getting back to the commentary, and I'm going to show you guys something, right? After I make a few breakdowns. So, when it comes to Black culture and things that sometimes we say amongst ourselves and, in our groups and things of that nature, to be able to sit over there and make it seem as though it's something that's not, I think is very interesting, right? So let's go ahead and get into this real quick. Before we get into the content, because we told y'all we was coming back with a very, very pure housekeeping today. Okay. So yeah, we're going to be addressing some recent discussions regarding the language used by two presenters. A lot of conclusions are being jumped to, but when we actually look at the facts, the disagreement here is about the interpretation of language and cultural references, not anyone's sexual orientation. Let's get into the very first one, deconstructing the phrases. So, I believe you guys set up here because you watch everything that we do, and you heard Imani say, when you come at the king, you best not miss. Now, let's be clear about where that phrase comes from. This is a famous quote from the TV series The Wire, spoken by the character Omar Little. And the meaning behind it, in its mainstream cultural metaphor, it means if you challenge someone powerful, you better make sure your case is strong, because there will be consequences if you fail. It is widely used in politics, sports, business, and legal discussions. It does not mean that the speaker is literally calling themselves a king, nor does it have anything to do with sexuality. And before we go on to the next topic, I'm going to go ahead and show you just exactly where that scene came from. So, everybody, let's go ahead and take a look at this together, and then we'll get into our second part of Golden's housekeeping. This is from a scene from that show, The Wire, and you will hear verbatim that statement being said.
Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
All righty. Now, do I need to play that multiple times or did you get it the first time? For some people, they got to hear it again and again and again and again. But anyway, yes, that was a very popular Black show. Okay. And if I am correct, I believe that show, where does that show derive from, Imani? Is it Chicago?
No, I believe it's Baltimore. I believe.
Baltimore. Oh, Baltimore. Yeah, exactly. So, please don't speak on things you know nothing about. I'm pretty sure you never seen one episode of that show. So therefore you wouldn't know what that reference is towards or where it comes from. But to sit up there and weaponize that statement as something that's going to make out two people to be homosexual or lesbians, wow. It just shows how much you are detached from the culture and really, really makes us question why you feel as though you have the foot to speak on things that you know nothing about. It's proving our point for us. So honestly, You can keep it up if you want to. You just keep making yourself look foolish. And we'll keep pointing that out every time. Anyway, moving on to our second point. Referring to someone as my girl. The reality. In many Black American and Black British communities, phrases like my girl, my guy, my brother, or my boy are standard expressions of friendship, familiarity, and solidarity. Solidarity. Let's be very clear about that one. Solidarity. They're not declarations of romantic interest. Because now I believe I was supposed to be throwing myself at Lady T because when I was appearing on Maggie's channel during her time of distress, and I was saying, that's my girl. No, I wasn't saying that she was my girl as far as, my friend. I was standing in solidarity with her, dealing with the situation that she was up against another content creator that I thought was terrible for her and was in poor taste, and I felt bad for her about going through. So yeah, those are the type of terminologies that we use within the community. But yet you try to convince someone, and we know this someone, well, we've already seen about this someone, actually was going to take your advice and say, I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, please don't flatter yourself. Not at all. Wasn't using the term magro when it came to her in any of those ways that you guys are trying to paint it. I was standing in solidarity with her for the consideration of the situation that she was in. The problem with the literal interpretations, just because an outside observer interprets words like king or my girl as romantic, doesn't make that interpretation accurate. Cultural idiisms lose their meaning when taken completely out of context. And again, back to you, Nick, and others, weaponizing identity and why people do it. Now, both women identify as heterosexual. That is me and Imani. And we have stated these remarks. We are not romantic. If someone is deliberately ignoring that context to speculate their sexual orientation, the issue is no longer about identity. It's about using identity as a weapon. And why do people do this? Well, there are five main reasons. Number one, of course, to provoke a reaction. Suggesting a hidden relationship is an easy way to get an emotional response or derail a public dispute. To undermine credibility. It's a classic ad hominem attack. Excuse me, y'all. Instead of addressing the actual substance of the argument, people attack people's personal and private lives. To chase engagement, of course, online platforms reward gossip, speculation, drive clicks, comments, and shares, even when there is zero evidence. Number four, to exploit old stereotypes. Relying on the outdated, harmful tactic that suggesting someone is LGBTQ will somehow shame or embarrass them. Shame on you, Nick. Shame on you. To ignore cultural context, choosing to ignore standard or pop culture references just to force a narrative that isn't there. I am shaking my head. Why? Because this is harmful. And let me explain to you why it is harmful. We need to recognize why this kind of speculation is inherently offensive. It completely disregards how these individuals define themselves. It treats perceived same sex attraction as a punchline or a source of embarrassment, which is deeply disrespectful to the LGBTQIA plus community. It reduces a public discussion to petty, speculative gossip. So, let's give you some information on a better approach moving forward. The more respectful and grounded approach is to simply look at the context. When a phrase has a well known meaning, like a quote from a famous TV show or a common cultural expression of friendship, we should accept that meaning unless someone explicitly shares their identity or relationship status with us. Drawing wild conclusions from ambiguous phrases is just gossip. So let's just focus on public discussion on what people are actually saying and doing, rather than making assumptions about people's personal lives. And that is all I have on my housekeeping. Would you like to add anything to that, Imani, before we get into the synopsis of what tonight's live is going to be about?
And and that is why we say you don't understand nuance. You don't understand the culture, and you're not trying to understand the culture. You're trying to destroy the culture with your nasty little gossip. Unfortunately for you, it doesn't bother me if you talk about my sexuality. It probably bothers you both more. That's what you need to do. Look in the mirror. You, Nick, you, Snoopy, Nick, and Jane. Okay? Because I'm not bothered about being called a lesbian, but you thought it was going to hurt me. You're ridiculous.
Well, and that is all we have for housekeeping. Um, but y'all, let's go ahead and move on to the content. And I was looking at you guys' comments, and I do agree. Some of them I'm gonna put on the screen, and some of them I won't. But just for child, they come at us for everything. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get right into the content, y'all. Just to let y'all know, I am not out here throwing myself around on these YouTube streets. But I think everybody who knows me for who I really am understands that. But I hope that was pretty educational for individuals that want to speak like that. And temper shame on you, because we understand, because we've heard things that you've said previously. We know you know about the community and the people. And for you to sit up there and allow these people to speak so wrong, and you agree with what they're saying, and you even gaslight some of the things that they're saying, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to us and our people. We have to do better.
Sorry, sorry, I just remembered what Temper said. He said, no,
Uh-huh.
we were referring to Ralph as the king.
Mhm. Right. Ralph is the king. Okay. Because any chance they get, they got to throw Ralph name in there. Does anybody pay attention to that? I really like anybody I know that's here. I know y'all have. But if y'all really closely pay attention to when these people are moving around, there are a few names that are always currently being spoken as of lately and recent. And I will tell you, one of the names that always gets brought up and said, no matter what they're talking about, and you got to remember now, me and Imani are lesbians. That's what they're saying. What do Ralph got to do with that? If that was even true, like, how do you bring him into the conversation if you're talking about our lesbian relationship? Child, it's orchestrated. We know it. It's fake. It's phony. Stop it. We'll pop you every single time.
No, we polyamorous, darling. Polyamorous. That's what we are. Polyamorous
Uh,
now.
well, there's nothing wrong with that for people who live polyamorous lifestyles and in our
I
polyamorous
know.
relationship. But guess what? We're not. So
No, but
again, do
I'm
not.
I'm only joking. The point
No, no,
is,
I know.
the
I
point
know you told
is,
me.
is
I just wanted to make
it's a
that point as
ridiculous
well.
thing. It's a ridiculous thing, and it's an offensive thing to use other people's identity, which you're part of that community, as a weapon to think you can harm people. It says more about you, because I heard you obsessing over a couple of ladies, and I think, Nick, you maybe need to look at who you're obsessing over, because you were actually hoping, you were saying, hold on a minute, drop the link, I think Goldilocks might appear. Are you are you for real? You're the one
Yeah.
who's obsessed.
So what? I'm supposed to be skipping up in my red coat and hood with the basket full of, food that I'm taking to grandma's house, and I'm gonna stop by Nick Mountain Goat or Snoopy or Temper's channel to say what? Is that Goldilocks? Isn't that Goldilocks? No, Goldilocks. No, never mind. Who is that?
No, she didn't want
Goldilocks.
to go to that channel because it was too toxic.
Ah, Goldilocks is the one with the three bears, right? But Goldilocks isn't even black, from what I saw in the kid books. So am I supposed to be who's Goldilocks? Me?
No idea. No idea. I don't even try and
Now,
work them
now
out.
they're
I don't
twisting
even
up
try and
kids'
work them out.
fables. Now they're twisting up kids' fables. Like, okay, all right. Like they'll stop at nothing. Anyway, y'all, we got to get into this content. So let's
Yeah,
go ahead
let's
and
get
get
into the content.
it. So, if y'all can remember from yesterday, if not, we'll give you a brief synopsis of where we left off. We were listening to a really heartfelt and a really great, deep conversation with Kelly Price, uh, R&B legend Kelly Price. For any of those out there who might not have known who she is, yeah, R&B legend Kelly Price with a voice that can bring you to tears. So we were listening to a interview with her yesterday over on Tammi Mac's platform. Okay. And we wanted to go ahead and come back just this evening and do something a little quick with a little part two. So shout out to Happy with Tammi Mac podcast on the Inflection Network. Again, like I said, she sat down with iconic R&B legend royalty, Miss Kelly Price, and she opens up and talks about from the projects to purpose and finding happy again. And so we'll be getting into the part two of that on this live, y'all. Of course, we have the video here. So y'all know I'm gonna go ahead and get that popped up. And we had some great open conversations on the previous live, just based off of some of the things that she was talking about and some of the things that we can attest to that we also have been through and experienced before as well. Imani opened up, I opened up, a lot of people that were participating in the chat opened up as well. It is a very great conversation, and we'll get right back into it and finish off where we left off. Do you have any things to say, Imani, before we go ahead and press play?
No, just Presley. That's fine. Thanks.
Press Alexa play. Let's get into it, y'all. We'll meet y'all in the chat.
Everything. The charge nurse was in the room. He was changing the dressings and obviously and doing a bunch of other stuff because I've been in a bed since Thursday. I've not taken myself to the bathroom. He's doing things and taking care of me. And I opened my eyes and I started trying to talk, and he broke down into tears.
The charge nurse.
Yes. That's what I woke up to. He broke down into tears.
And I'm sorry, y'all, just for a brief synopsis, real quick. I think everybody that's here probably seen the part one, but if anybody is listening or watching, even if you're laying back in the cut and watching from there, where we're starting from is her having a deep conversation about her experience during that time, where she did unfortunately contract the CVID, and she was in the hospital and not doing well. It could have been touch or go. And, a lot of it came out into the public about everybody was trying to be on a search. Where is Kelly Price? Where is Kelly Price? All of those things, right? I don't know if y'all remember that time. But this is the portion of that live where she's continuing that conversation about her experience being in the hospital during that time. So let's go back ahead and press play again.
Tears, and he just lost it uncontrollably, and he just kept saying, "I'm sorry, this is so unprofessional. I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to do this." And I said, no, please. He was gonna walk out the room. Please don't leave. Like, I was trying to get him, please don't leave the room.
Right.
Please don't leave the room.
What was it? What was he crying for?
He cried. He said, "We've lost so many people this week. Thank you for fighting. Thank you for choosing to stay alive." Those were the first words I heard when I woke up.
Did you die at some point?
Mm-hmm. They brought me back. My husband helped to bring me back at the house. They brought me back
at the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they brought me back at the hospital.
So all of this is going on. You are fighting, literally. The charge nurse says, "Thank you for fighting for your life.
Thank you for choosing to fight."
So you are literally fighting for your life. Mm-hmm. You are, they're bringing you back to life at the house.
Yes.
And there's drama going on outside of you trying to fight for your life.
Right. And I'm getting text messages from PR people saying, "Just take a picture and post it so people know that it's you." And I'm like, are you crazy? Like, I'm not getting ready. I got tubes I'm not No, I don't owe that. If somebody believes that because they've listened to my music for 20 years, that I owe them a photograph of me in the absolute worst state of my life, then never listen to a Kelly Price song ever again, because no, that's crazy. I have people who have talk shows right now who won't bring me on their show because I wouldn't allow them. We do each other dusty. Will not bring me on their talk show because I would not allow them to have me. Even after I got out of the hospital, I have an oxygen machine
attached to your body, and you have to breathe through an oxygen machine. And somebody wants you on their talk show to get an exclusive.
Yes.
In the midst of you fighting for your life.
Yes. And what made things get worse is we did not take, people said, people turned it into everything. I was looking for attention. I was looking, it took her too long to come out and say something. No, it didn't. I was resting. My phones were off. I was barely watching television. Like, I was trying to heal, literally trying to heal.
Of course.
And
did your husband say anything? Did your husband say, "Hey, she's good. I got her. She's good"?
Even bigger than that, because he was still trying to heal.
He was sick too.
Yeah. So I remember turning my phone on one day, and it was literally the day that TMZ broke the story that I was missing. I was on the FBI's missing persons list. That was not a joke. I had to be removed from the FBI's missing persons list. And the only way you can do that, you have to turn yourself in so that they can do a physical examination.
To the FBI?
Yes.
Who? Huh? Wait, slow down.
I had to do that.
Wait.
I had to do
you
that
had to walk into
because of lies that were told. It's the day the story was broken by TMZ is weird. My husband said, "You need to get something to eat." I was saying, "I really don't have an appetite." He said, "You have to eat something. That's going to be a part of the healing process. You still, even if it's just a little bit of something, you have to eat something." So I said, "Okay, fine." We get up, take a shower, get dressed. I'm here now. I'm in California.
Right.
I'm in California. But I still have, by this time, I'm on portable oxygen. I'm not, when I was in the house, I had the oxygen compressor like I did in
I don't even know how in today's world, I have no clue how nobody caught you on film. Like, that baffles me to no end.
What was weird is while we were looking for a house,
right?
We were staying in a hotel, and there was a sister that worked down at the front desk. She knew exactly who I was. She remained very professional. She said that there were people who had come by the hotel that had asked her, "Was that? Is that?" And she would just play it off and go, "Hell no. No." We decided to go, and we literally just go out and find like a little Applebee's somewhere in the corner of, the suburbs somewhere. And I turned my phone on, and my phone is ding, 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 and then it starts to ring. So before I start looking at any of the dings, I pick up the phone, and my attorney says, "Where the hell are you and what is going on?" I said, "Monica, what's wrong?" She said, "TMZ is reporting that you're missing. Like, we speak all the time, and I know that you're sick and you're trying to get better. What are they talking about? You're missing, and that the police have been to your house, and the blah, 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 and woo, woo, woo." And I said, "I don't know anything about it. My phone's been off for the last few days."
Right.
Like, I literally just been in the bed. I've been asleep. I've been taking my medicine, going back to sleep.
Right.
I got this damn oxygen mask on. Like, I just the tank on the side of the bed. Like, and so she said, "Are you near a television?" I said, "I'm not near a television. We literally just decided to go get something to eat." She said, "Are people texting you?" I said, "Yeah." I hold on 1 second. Let me look at some of these text messages. She said, "No, don't worry about it." She sent me a screenshot of TMZ. Said that I was missing, that I was very likely in danger, because the story that was being fed to the media is that my husband had taken me somewhere where no one knew where I was, and that I was very likely in danger.
Were you ever in danger?
I was never in danger. I was never in danger. So after I spoke to my attorney, the first call she made was TMZ. She was able to get a hold of Harvey Levin's office.
Mm-hmm.
She asked them to take the story down,
Mm-hmm.
do a recant, that what they were reporting, she was trying to find out where they had gotten the information from.
Right.
What they were reporting was inaccurate. She was my attorney, blah, 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 blah. They got a little crass with her. She's a sister. I'm gonna leave it at that. They got crass with her. Well, we don't know who you are. You could be anybody. You could be blah, 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 blah. She said, okay, well, you figure it out.
Mm.
You're an attorney. You can figure out whether or not,
Well, right.
this is my name.
Mm-hmm.
You can figure out whether or not I'm an attorney. What I can tell you is if you don't take this story now, you're going to have a bigger problem than you're going to know what to do with.
All right, y'all. So we're going to stop it right there for a quick commentary break. Wow. Number one, I'll start off a little bit. Imani, I'll let you go, and then I'll, give some final thoughts after that. But number one is, wow. So God bless and thank God that Kelly Price is still here, right? Because as she has spoke about on the part one, y'all, if y'all have not watched that, please check it out. And you don't have to necessarily watch it on my, platform. You can just watch the entire interview from beginning to end over on Tammi Mac's platform, and Happy Network, which is a really great platform. But we had our commentary about the part one yesterday, and she expressed the fact that during the pandemic, which was very difficult for a lot of people, and a lot of people lost loved ones and friends during that time. She lost several of her loved ones. And she was fighting, and her husband or fiance at the time were also fighting against the COVID. And at that time, while she was fighting against it, as you heard her say, she wanted to take precautions to keep safe, to stay out of the limelight, and just be out of the public. Just be with her and her man and get better. And that's it. And so some of the choices that they decided to make was to, basically like go off the grid a little bit. You know what I mean? Like stay at a hotel, try to find another home or another area to, be in, not taking no calls, not taking, trying to make sure you're not being seen out in public, wanting to be just incognito. And I think sometimes there's no problem with wanting to just be incognito, especially when you're someone who is always in the limelight. You're someone who's always, in the paparazzi zones and stuff like that. People are always looking for you. They know you. They can identify you. They want to come up to you, ask you questions, and harbor on you. When you're sick and you're fighting for your life and you have lost family members, you're not only just sick, but you're grieving at the same time. And you just want to be away from everything. And the fact that people will come out with their version of your life and your story and your experience and put it out for the public to digest, that that's what a lot of people are feeling right now. And it's crazy because, look, you want to know why this is crazy for me? I'm not a celebrity. I'm nobody. I'm a regular everyday girl, okay, that just like to do and talk and run my chats and stuff. And I decided that I wanted to, do a little YouTube channel, which, yes, it started during the COVID times is when I made that decision. And I enjoy it because it lets me connect with people and it lets me run my mouth and all of the things and talk about serious things as well. So that was my choice. I didn't sign up to be a celebrity. I didn't sign up to be a star. I didn't sign up for my business to be strung all along YouTube streets. I didn't sign up for people to sit up here and, make their assumptions of what my life is, what my mother's life is, what my son's life is, what condition his health is in. And so I know I get angry, right? And so when I started dealing with those things on YouTube, it made me have more of an empathy for celebrities because I was the type of person I want to know the tea. Like, what's this celebrity got going on? I'm gonna listen. Now I ain't gonna go too below the belt with it or nothing, but salacious stories and things that would be fed to me or talked about or headlines that I would see, I sometimes used to believe them to be true. And I used to be tapping in to listen to TMZ and all the things like that because I'm like, all right, I like this person. I want to know more about, what's going on with them. Like, what's the tea? What's the story? But then when you sit down and you listen and you see that a celebrity or public figure is no different from anybody else. They're just a human being who is living a human experience. And sometimes it's like that's really hard to juggle because everybody thinks as though that they are deserving to have a seat, a front seat to your life. And when you choose not to necessarily do that or put that out there because you feel as though, okay, if you're going to be a public figure, you got to give your public something. But if you're going through something and you decide, I want to detach myself from that, I want to remove myself from that, or that's not their business, I don't want that part of my life to be out there, you have to find a way to navigate through that. And so I think it's crazy that it takes for you being a content creator to actually have more empathy when it comes to celebrities. And the fact that they were sending stories, of course, to TMZ and other places and whatnot about what was going on in her life at that time that was absolutely untrue. I think we all have a better understanding of that now being here on YouTube. Imani, I'm going to let you go ahead and go.
Yeah, this story is absolutely crazy. I mean, imagine that she's gone through a near-death experience and she wants to recover quietly. Her husband's been ill. To walk into a fire and to be on oxygen for quite some time, because that was one thing about CV that a lot of people had breathing difficulties afterwards. And then to walk into a media firestorm saying that her husband had taken her somewhere against her will. And it's crazy. And then having to have her attorney challenge the media to change the story and demand corrections while she's still trying to recover. This is, I do get what you're saying. The thing is, I really am, and Golden knows this. I never even wanted to come out and defend anything in the first place. Number one, because I think the more you defend, the more things they throw at you. But like you, well, you were a content creator. I wasn't, and I still am not. I am just your co-host. However, people were making accusations about me. They were calling me an abuse enabler. They were calling me someone that stalked and harassed a man who has now passed away. They may want to rewrite history and ask why I would go to their chat and say, stop talking about me, even though they did it on several platforms, accusing me of stalking a man, was the reason why I came out. I had to come out and defend myself against crap, against other stalkers and other harassers. So I had
Mhm.
only a little taste of what goes on. And the fact is, I was a very private person, even in the Discord. I did not share my life, thank God, with these people, because God
Thank
knows
God.
what story would have been rewritten now. And I think that is what irritates them, because they don't have my life, because I haven't shared anything, because I didn't even know their government names. So why the hell am I going to share my life with a bunch of women that I don't even know who you are or if you're real? And the fact is, that is what I've always said about that. I was not responsible for their time. They were not chained to the Discord. They could have logged off, but they choose to carry on this story for years and years and years. And like I said, and on the back of that, start attacking other people for no reason. And this is a classic example of people not knowing anything about what's going on and deciding to spin a narrative on a woman who was almost lost her life. It's crazy. It's crazy the way things have gone with social media. I think it needs to dial itself back. And a lot of people who are going to face consequences, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular that we've spoken about today, because of some of this behavior, will make people rethink, because we need a reset with all this, because it's gone wild. Because normally you used to have gossip papers like the Inquirer, crazy stories. You could say, oh, could that be true? You knew half of it wasn't. You knew. Nowadays, a lie travels way faster than the truth. Way faster. It's crazy.
I agree. And I also think that a lie carries further based off of whether you like that person or not. And so, like, even with like celebrities and stuff like that, with most celebrities, you like that celebrity. So you don't want that bad information that you hear about them or that salacious information that you hear about them to be true. So you'll on like almost kind of like discard it. Like, nah, that no. I know that so and so is not. No, I know that she's not living like that. He not living like that. No, he wouldn't do nothing like that because you like them, right? You like them, you support them, you're rocking with them. If it's someone you don't like, now it's more easier for you to believe the lie because anything that's negative, it's like it gives you a better feeling in your heart to dislike that person because there's all these negative things that's being said about them that are lies and they're not true. But because that you don't like them, you will accept all of those negative things and lies because it makes you feel better about disliking that person. See, I told you. Yep, I knew that. See, oh, she out there scamming. Yeah. Oh, she out there. Yep. See, I could have told you she was like that. That I told you. That's why I don't like that girl. You see, it gives them like the freedom to be like, yeah, it warrants my hate or dislike for this person because these lies fit the narrative that I already feel and see in my heart and my mind about this person. But if you like them, you fight against it, you deny it. You're like, nah, she would never do nothing like that. She's not that kind of person. And this is what we call hypocrisy. And we're seeing a lot of hypocrisy, even right here on this platform, that is moving and operating in that same way. And we talked about that earlier in housekeeping. Two people can say the exact same thing. Depending on who says it and how you feel about that person, you're either going to believe it or you're going to disbelieve it. And it has a lot to do with how you feel about that individual. So you got to think, a lot of people may not have been Kelly Price fans. Child, and we're going to go on with some more of the content in the live and her speaking from her own, personal background and experience. Sometimes your own family don't like you. Your own family will do you like that. And so when you're meeting strangers and stuff on the internet, you kind of almost got to set yourself up to not be surprised. But then sometimes you are, because you are still someone who kind of feels like humanity is a thing and wants to fight for that and see it still be strong. But then you just like you get like aired out when you see that, like, yo, humanity is really in trouble because we're not nice to each other. We're not good to each other. And so, despite what ranks we may be in and what careers we may have and how much is in our bank account, we just not kind and good to one another. We have no level of humanity anymore. Somebody fighting for their life because they had deceiving. That, yes, maybe an entertainer, an award-winning, legendary R&B singer. Yeah, she's all of those things. But you take all of those titles off, she's a woman. She's a human being. She's fighting for her life from a from a condition that took so many people off of this earth. And thank God that it didn't take her. So God bless her. God bless Kelly Price. God bless everyone, who has survived. And our hearts go out to each and every individual who may have family and friends or people just in their life that did not make it when it came to that, because that was a very tough time. But let's get back into some more of the content, unless you have a few more comments, Imani.
No, I'm good. Let's get back into it.
All right, y'all, let's press play. We'll meet you in the chat.
TMZ made one phone call. One phone call. And they understood exactly who my attorney was. My attorney released a statement to every outlet, every reputable outlet.
Okay.
Because ain't nobody got time.
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying?
You. Yeah.
To every reputable outlet, to the CBSs, to the ABCs, to the NBCs, to the CNNs, to the Fox Newses, they were, though all of those networks were reporting that I had possibly been kidnapped, taken out of the hospital against my will, and I was in danger.
But none of that happened.
None of that happened. And they were saying that my husband was a person of interest.
Yeah.
But that was what they were being fed.
So you had to go to the FBI and what, give them your driver's license? Like, what happened? I've never heard of this before.
My attorney is now seated as a judge in the state of Georgia. She is married to someone who served the department for the police department for almost 4 years.
Okay.
40 years. Needless to say, when you talk about the GBI and the complaint was made in the state of Georgia or whatever, I was living here. She made arrangements so that I could turn myself into the GBI.
What's the GBI?
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, got it.
And so that's how we got that done, so that I wouldn't have to do like a perp walk, and there would be,
cameras
and that kind of thing. There were arrangements made so that we could meet at a private location. They did send people to sit the both of us down, have a conversation with the both of us.
Separately or together?
Together,
okay.
Separately. And I was, they
frisked you?
They examined me.
Oh, they examined you.
They examined to see if I looked as if
if you had bruises or
if I had been abused, or there were bruises or anything else. And I had my portable oxygen machine with me.
With you. Well, now you are looking like he beat you up with that portable oxygen machine.
But the portable oxygen machine, I had to get a prescription for that.
Right. So what I remember most from that situation was people saying that you didn't respond quick enough, like get on. I guess they wanted you to get on cam. I'm not sure what people were asking, because like you said, I received one of those press releases from your attorney saying that you were fine.
In less than 3 hours from the time that the story went up on TMZ, she made sure that everyone that had a reputable format got the news.
Right.
That I was fine.
So what were people asking of you? What did they want from you?
Well, what happened was I had a family member go to a blogger, and they told the blogger they never heard of this woman. They didn't know who this man was that I was saying that I was married to, that I was not married to him.
Right.
It was all lies.
Can we set the record straight that you were married to this man today?
I am.
Okay.
and very much so in love. And I'm not going to spend my life miserable because I don't care who it is. We can share the same DNA, but if you haven't figured out how to make life happier for yourself, I can tell you some things, I can teach you some things. A teacher can give you a book and tell you to read it. They can't tell you how to comprehend it.
Yeah.
They can't tell you how to apply it to your life.
Right.
Being taught something can make you smart. It doesn't make you wise. And there's a difference.
You ultimately did come out and tell the people that, hey, y'all, I'm good.
Yeah.
What made you do that?
I did it, and I wanted to do it in my own time. I knew what I had been through. Mm-hmm. The people closest to me,
they knew.
Even some of the ones who were feeding lies to the media, they knew that I was fine. They knew that I was fine. I will make one statement. This will probably be the harshest statement that I make in this entire thing. I had one part of the family saying, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Why are y'all talking to the media? Y'all know she's fine. What's wrong with you? Get it together and stop being stupid. Mm-hmm. I had the other side of the family saying, if she dies, he gets it all. I'm going to leave it there. Mm.
So are you happy, Kelly?
I'm as yellow.
I mean, this is a lot. Like, this is.
I know I'm giving you a lot.
You unloaded today.
I know I'm giving you a lot. But when I came in and we first started talking, I said, Tammy, you know, you're the first person I've spoken to.
You said that.
Since before COVID, I have not spoken to anyone. I've not spoken to anyone publicly. I've not told my side of the story. Number one, I absolutely need to know you. I absolutely need to trust you.
Yeah.
Because people will take what you say and they will chop it up and turn it into what they want it to be. I know you. I trust you.
Thank you.
From day one.
Thank you.
From day one. And that's why I told you.
When I said you got issues.
when you
you got issues.
Kelly Price, you got issues. But you know what's crazy?
Oh, stop it.
I did. I did.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna stop it right there for a quick commentary break, and I'm gonna let Imani start on this one. I just want to say one thing, just at this final part, y'all. Right before she paused, right before I paused, the final thing that she said is, you know, she wanted to reach out and tell what story on a platform. It was someone that she trusts, and she trusts Tammi Mac. And she was like, you know, they was laughing and stuff like that. You know, like when they first had their first interview or whatnot. It was the conversation around, you know, Kelly Price, bro, you got issues. And you know what she said? Because she's done the work. She said, you know what? I did have issues. And she was able to be able to receive that and accept that now because of the work that she's done. But what do you think about this so far, Imani? And then after this, we'll get into a song break and then play a little bit more.
Well, there's a few things that I don't think people understand. I think for some of us, the kind of smaller circles that we had to deal with during CV-19 made you become, you really, well, I found for me, I really only communicated with that close circle. And anybody within that close circle knew anything that was going on. And another thing I can attest to, having been through this when my son was younger, when you have what I would consider to be a near-death experience with a family member, you kind of batten down the hatches because there's the trauma of the fact the person was ill, the trauma of the fact that they've nearly died, and the trauma of the fact that you've got to get used to the fact that they've gotten through it. And it sometimes makes you want to communicate less with people because you're still not over the shock of what has happened. So I can understand them not wanting to speak to anybody. It sounds weird, but we were also in a situation where you didn't have that much contact with many people. And if you really weren't in contact with many people, certain people regularly, they certainly weren't going to hear from you during that time. So I don't get why people don't actually understand that they were going through a really difficult situation. And it was a really difficult time anyway, where people were quite separated. Her family, some of them sound like POSs as far as I'm concerned, because they were worried about the fact that she may pass away and he would get her money. That was their major concern. It was pretty obvious, the financials. Um, but the fact is, she came through it. The fact that she had to go to investigators and be examined for abuse after going through all that trauma is crazy to me. But I suppose that's what they had to do because the reports were made. And if something had happened and she was being abused, they had to make sure and do a sign off. So the whole thing is just it's crazy to me, but it was also a crazy time, so I can understand some of their focus, and I can also understand it from the near death experience, because it's like you can't believe what you've actually been through. And I went through that for almost a year, but that's another story. But yeah, she was really focusing on her, this part was about family conflict, rebuilding trust, and on her reputation, and having to build your reputation after going through a near death experience. She's great to have come out the other side with all that crap going on and all the false information. Um, I can understand that need. I've I'm better now, but that period made me become quite solitary and get used to not speaking to as many people. That it's really been difficult coming out on the other side and socializing a lot more. And I don't think a lot of us will ever get back to that. And sometimes, the people that you've dropped, maybe it was for a reason. But yeah, it's crazy. It's still crazy to me, all that.
Wow, thank you for sharing that, Imani. That's absolutely true, especially during that time. And then again, like you said, there's other times in people's lives where they're going through things like that, where they really can see who are the ones who are 10 toes down for them and who are not. And so I'll share just a little bit of a story, and then we'll take a quick song break and get back into the video. But my mom also hasn't learned that as well, because when I was 15, unfortunately, I had to have open heart surgery. Okay, so they had to go in and repair my heart. I had some issues with my heart. And during that time, she had friends and stuff around her. I had my friends. And during that time, you really see who's really rocking with you and who's really there for you when you're at your lowest and who's not, right? And so there are family and friends to this day that we still continue to have and hold dear, because at that time they never left. They were always there. They were always around. And it was never anything salacious, because people get like that when certain things happen. They try to play the blame game, or they'll try and say things like, oh, how could this have happened? How did she end up like that? And why does she need surgery on her heart and all of this? But it was never really like that with a lot of the friends and family that we have in our life. And I was 15 at the time where I had to have this surgery. And one of my besties and whatnot, which I couldn't believe. And it was summertime during the time where I had the surgery. But she came to the hospital where I was at, and she stayed every single night. And I just feel like when things happen like that, and you see that people show up for you, and they're there for you during those times, that's how you know people really got your back. But the sad thing for Kelly Price to say that having her family was just only worried about if she doesn't make it, he's gonna get everything. That's come on. You don't care about your family member. You just care about what her royalties, her money that's gonna get left behind. That's all you care about. But there's some people that are like that, and it can be family, it can be friends. It's dang sure it can be people you don't know and who don't know you, right? They don't care about you. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. They ain't gonna care. They're not gonna ask about you. They're not gonna check up on you. They're not gonna miss your presence, right? It's just like this. This is life, and we have to sometimes understand that. Unfortunately, life is like that, and some people around you that you really think may be your friend or really care about you, that they really don't. Even your family. And so I just think it's a very heartfelt story and experience of life that she's talking about, is bringing a lot, I think, out of all of us. So on that note, we'll go ahead and take a quick song break. And after we come back from this song break, y'all, we're going to play a little bit more of the video. We can't play all of it. We're going to do about 40 minutes again today of the interview. And then we'll have some final thoughts at the end. But I just want to say shout out to everybody who's kicking it with us, rocking with us, whether you are in the chat or whether you just lay back in the cut shop, just listening while you relaxing. We appreciate it. We can feel your presence as well. So thank you so much for all your love and support. And I hope the message, the overall message and what is being talked about or whatnot, maybe it can help, or maybe, it's engaging or interesting to you. I hope we bring you content that you like. But yeah, let's take this song break, y'all, and we'll be right back.
Funny thing about hate, the people that say they can't stand you know everything about you. Every live stream, every post, every move. That's not hate, that's obsession. Run it. Why you watching me if you don't like me? Why are you clocking me? Every upload, every stream, every word I speak. You know my whole life better than the folks that sit with me. Why you watching me talking crazy, but you boosting me? You call it hate, I call it free publicity. You in the comments every day promoting me. Why you watching me? You say I'm fake, but you never miss a show. Notifications on front row, screenshot queen. Got folders on your phone, studying my life while neglecting your own. Every week another rumor gets spun. Same five people talking under everyone, claiming that they win it, claiming that they won. But somehow I'm still the topic every month. Ain't that funny? You know my schedule, you know my guests, you know my circle, you know my steps. Know every sentence, know every laugh, know every live stream, from beginning to last. Girl, that's work. She should've sent the resume. Spent 10 years watching me and still ain't get paid. Meanwhile, I'm building while you sitting in rage, trying to stop my shine while giving me engagement. Why you watching me if you don't like me? Why are you clocking me? Every upload, every stream, every word I speak. You know my whole life better than the folks that sit with me. Why you watching me talking crazy, but you boosting me? You call it hate, I call it free publicity. You in the comments every day promoting me. Why you watching me? Yeah, YouTube streets got detectives on patrol. Whole channel built around another woman's goals. Breaking down thumbnails, breaking down clothes, breaking down friendships, breaking down souls. Talking all day but accomplishing none. Living through drama like it's oxygen. Trying to recruit every bit of little frame, building fake armies that collapse in the end. See, I learned something. Misery needs company. Happy people don't spend years on a hunting spree. Successful folks ain't checking who I talk to. Successful folks too busy making boss moves. The math ain't mathing. Let's be factual. If I was irrelevant, why to me? If I was finished, why you still react to me? You built your platform off reacting to me. I don't fear criticism. Criticism helps people grow. But obsession, that's different. Imagine waking up every day to monitor somebody you claim you don't like. That's not power. That's a prison. And you built the cell yourself. Yeah. God got me walking and I know who I am. Can't no comment section cancel God's plan. People throw stones when they don't understand, but every attack on the strength is the stand. I pray for my enemies, wish them healing too, cause carrying that much anger got a cost to you. While you counting my blessings, I'm counting mine. While you studying my life, I'm improving mine. See the difference? One road builds, one road destroys. One creates peace, one just creates noise. And when the camera's off and the live stream ends, you still gotta face yourself, my friend. Why you watching me if you don't like me? Why are you clocking me? Every upload, every stream, every word I speak, you know my whole life better than the folks that sit with me. Why you watching me? Keep talking, keep posting, keep obsessing, keep proving my point. Some people spend their whole lives trying to become somebody. Others spend their whole lives watching somebody become somebody. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Choose wisely.
All right, y'all. So thanks for rocking with us with that quick little song break right there. And yeah, every now and then, y'all, sometimes, we may open up and give you a little piece of ourselves or whatnot like that. But we feel like we are amongst people we can trust. And I mean, hey, your story is your story. It doesn't change no matter who you're around. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get back into some more of the video. Before we go ahead and press play, did you have anything or any comments you want to make, Imani, before we get into it, or do you want to jump right in?
No, I just wanted to say that this Kelly Price interview is like an emotional roller coaster. 1 minute we're kicking ass and taking names, next minute we're crying in the aisles. Sorry.
It is. It really is. No, that's the truth. It really is. And
I
one
don't
of
know
the
what
things
we're
that I
going to
love
do
about it,
next.
which I don't know. But one of the things I really love about that as well, when it comes to the nuance of a lot of the content that we do over here, is that it allows us to see each other as human. Depending on whatever topic we're talking about, we all going to have a different reaction. We may all have a different experience or something, to bring to the table, or something that may, trigger or, engage or enlighten in us. And I think that's part of being human, because that's how you live life. You have feelings and emotions and all of the things, and you can have control over them, but it's not to say that they're not there. And a lot of times I feel like where we are now, especially with social media and a lot of things we've been through on this platform, it allows us to have more of a humanity and an understanding, even when it comes to, like, of course, like celebrities and things of that nature, right? Because at the very core, we all are just human beings. We just do, things on different levels sometimes and in different places and spaces. But we all are going through something, have been through something, will go through something. And I think it makes us more of a like than different. So that's the type of content that I like to make. And I guess it's doing what it do. But yeah, girl, let's go ahead. Go ahead. You got some more to say, and then we'll get into the rest of it.
No. I'm just saying, it's just, yeah, it has been a bit of an emotional roller coaster, but it's good. It's good. Let's just get back to politics tomorrow. No, not really.
No, come on. Let's just get back to politics, because I can't do this hard stuff no more.
No, I'm only joking. No, this is a good interview. It really is, honestly.
Yeah. I
Thank
think
you
it's
once again. Great selection. Great selection.
Thank you.
Now people
Well,
know who Kelly Price is.
well, then there's that. Well, then there's that. So if anybody didn't know who the great, lovely, legendary R&B singer Kelly Price is, with a voice that literally, and we talking about her story, and we coming to tears. Just listen to her sing. But anyway, y'all, let's get back into the video.
Kelly.
I was a young, married, unhappy woman. I should have been having the time of my life. I had the #1 record in the country. I was traveling the world making more money I had ever made in my life.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy.
So money doesn't make you happy?
No.
Fame doesn't make you happy?
No. No.
Admiration doesn't make you happy?
No, I admire God. I love God. And even though people always say, she's a gospel singer, I'm not a gospel singer. I was raised by my pastor, who is my grandfather.
Look, I had to call you one time on that. There was somewhere you were singing and the people got mad because you were singing
As We Lay.
As We Lay. Thank you. I couldn't think of the song.
I was asked to sing As We Lay. So,
and people got mad. And I said, hey, Kelly, a quick story. You need to clear this up.
Remember before Essence Festival got huge?
Yeah.
Every artist in the world wanted to do the Indianapolis, the Indie Expo.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Before Essence got huge, that's where you wanted to be every summer. That was the largest Black festival you could go to.
Biggest showcase on the face of the earth for any Black artist.
For any Black artist.
Yep.
And so the more Essence grew, that expo, until it went all the way away.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years ago, they decided that they wanted to try to start to rebuild it, but they did not have the funding to do it the way they used to, where they had a gospel stage, an R&B stage, so everything happened on the same stage.
So whereas people thought it was a gospel stage.
I'm just going to go on and just talk about how we are. They did all that on one day, which was a Sunday.
Right.
And they was on Negro time.
Mm.
So I was supposed to be done by a certain time. They had 2 R&B segments.
Okay.
They had one that was going to be done like during the brunch hour or whatever on stage. And then they had a whole gospel concert that was going to happen like right around the time after church services started letting out. So people were walking in like they were coming straight from church. They still had their church hats on and all of that kind of stuff. I was closing out the show. They were walking in to be seated for the gospel concert,
which was
to come next. But they were already running late, because had they been running on time, I would have been out of the building. They would have had already changed and cleared the set over to what they need for a gospel choir, which is organs and drums and all that kind of stuff. It was me up there.
It was you
and some tracks,
to Shirley Murdoch.
And I was singing my tail off I'm singing As We Lay, and I got church mothers coming in clutching their pearls and looking at me like I need an exorcism. And I didn't realize, and what happened was, and it turned into a really big thing, because there was an amazing sister, and I'm still gonna say she's amazing, beautiful. She was dressed to the nines. She had on a pair of beautiful shoes. I'm a shoe freak,
right?
And so I was having this conversation with her backstage, and I was telling her how beautiful she looked and how wonderful her shoes were. And I was like, girl, you better be glad, man, you don't wear the same pair of shoes, because you be out there barefoot, because I would take your shoes and get on the plane with them.
Right.
I had no idea that she was the hostess, one of the hostess of the gospel radio station in the city.
Okay.
And so as I was leaving, because they were so behind time, I had a police escort. They had me on a golf cart. Right. I was getting ready to go. So I was waiting for my golf cart so that they can take me to my police escort so I could get to the airport, whatever the case may be. She got out on the stage, got out on the microphone, and started, she decided she wanted to have a moment. I guess in another life, she wanted to be a comedian.
Right.
So she wanted to have a moment at my expense. because the church people
were there.
And they were in the audience and they were like having conniptions.
Mm-hmm. So she said what?
Well, she was just like, okay, is everybody all right? Y'all can calm down. We know it's all right. That's all right. We're going to go on and we're going to bring Jesus in here. Somebody get on the organ so we can bring the Spirit of the Lord in this place and get the, get that kind of energy out of it. We don't need that. We don't need that kind of energy in here, right? Like, and I was like, is that the same lady that I was just
telling her she has some cute boots
telling
on?
her how pretty she was, and she was telling me how big of a fan she was and all this. Is that what we doing?
Oh, wow.
That's what we doing? So I got on live in my airplane seat after I got to the airport.
Oh, you got on live.
And I had 2 or 3 drinks at that point.
So you ain't making no better.
So I didn't make it no better. No, I'm being very transparent.
Right.
I'm being very transparent. And I was just like, this is why we don't. And then she tried to come back come on my show. And if there's something that you feel like you can teach me a lesson, come on my show. My response to her is, why would I make your platform bigger? Don't nobody know who you are. And I meant exactly what I said. And I mean that same thing today. Because here I am. I started in this business at 18 years old. I will be 52 in April. I still go to work when I feel like it.
Now that's freedom. That's peace, freedom, happiness. That's all that wraps up in one.
And I just don't believe in being two-faced.
Right.
It would have been just as easy for her to say,
girl, why you sing that song?
She could have told her. Well, everybody in the audience knew who she was. She was the radio hostess from the gospel radio station. She could have told them we're running behind time.
Yeah.
Miss Price was closing out
the R&B
segment.
Yeah.
And that's not her fault. Y'all don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's going to give us a few minutes so we can get the stage switched over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's a way that it could have been done. It could have been done with some integrity. You didn't need to try to use that as a moment to humiliate me or to embarrass me or whatever. And I was like, well, damn. By the time I saw that Wendy Williams was talking about it the next day, I said, well, wasn't that serious?
Well, I thought, like, there's no way Kelly
But I
Price
would never do that.
Yeah, and that's why I called you. Because I was like, there's no way that Kelly Price sang As We Lay at a gospel church event.
No.
I said, something is going on here.
I would never do that. I would never do that. Now, number one, my grandparents were still alive. They would have told me, fly to New York because I need to talk to you.
Right. But really, maybe some of them church people was mad because you was singing their song.
Listen, let me tell you something. I was singing.
You were all trying to call the church people out.
I was singing all their songs. I was singing all their songs. Now you got to remember, you talking to somebody that was raised by a pastor. I know where all the bodies are buried.
So all of this happens to you, Kelly, minus that part. Minus that part. You lose your sister, you lose your grandmother, your grandfather, you almost lose your own life.
Yes.
And technically you lost it.
I did.
And you were brought back.
Yes.
So when was the first time that you smiled after these string of events happened in your life?
As I would get stronger, my husband and I this is the truth, would do these date nights. I couldn't do them outside in the beginning as much, but we had a pool table. And once upon a time, I played pool better than my husband.
Okay. He been practicing on you, huh?
It didn't take him long at all. He's naturally athletic. He's naturally athletic. He played professional football, like he did, so he's naturally, he can catch on to anything quickly.
So he
very, very quickly.
That ass in
so
now.
I got away with it for maybe a couple of weeks.
Oh, just a couple of weeks?
Oh, it didn't take that long at all. It didn't take that long at all. And then by the time, I just remember one night, he was like, yeah, let's do 9-ball now. I was like, what you know about 9-ball? So I'm looking at him. I'm like, something ain't right here. So we start playing. And I told you, he beat the hell out of me.
And that's the first time you smiled?
No, it was just, that was a part of it. Like just doing little things like that.
Right.
Playing cards, playing spades, playing 3-man spades with the just doing normal, doing normal things. He can cook his behind off too. I can cook my behind off too. I couldn't cook for a long time because I had.
Oh, well, you stay out here now, so I might have to go over to the house.
You might not need to
gotta take a little trip to Atlanta now.
You might need to come on by the crib.
Oh, you should have told me.
You might need to come on by the crib.
Both of y'all cook.
Because in the beginning, I couldn't because I had the oxygen.
Right.
So I couldn't cook at all. And I'm so dumb. I was like, baby, what you want to eat? He was like, what are you talking about? What you want to eat? You want to order something in? I was like, no, I want to cook for us tonight. He was like, are you crazy?
What do you think, Kelly, what do you think is the difference between the Kelly prior to COVID and those string of events and the Kelly today?
Oh my God. Prior to
your divorce,
prior to
the deaths that you've had,
yeah,
and the Kelly that is Kelly today. What's the difference?
So it's happened in stages. I can't say that it's all happened at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
My husband, he would say to me a lot of times, "You care too much. You care too much." And I had to learn what he meant by that. I'm like, I was raised by caring people. I'm supposed to care. He's not.
Right.
He was like, you're not listening to me. Listen to me. You care too much. You care too much what people think. People are going to think what they want to think. What they choose to think about you is not your issue. What you know about you. I said it when I first came in.
Yeah.
What you know about you is what matters. Because there are some people that they're gonna want to have something negative to say,
right?
Regardless. It's probably one of the biggest things that I've learned. One of the biggest things that I've learned.
So you think you care a little less now about things that? Well, you kind of said it. You did say it in the beginning, like you keep your peace and you're only around people who are good for you and make you feel good.
Yeah, my circle is so small. It's like the head of a needle.
The laugh is so infectious. I don't understand how you go through all of this and still have a laugh like jolly old Saint Nick. Like, how does that happen?
Because there is a God. There is a God somewhere. There is. Let me tell you. I'll tell you this. I remember one day. So I have and still have some like light issues now that I deal with post-COVID, and it has everything to do with how long I was unconscious. Mm-hmm. The fact that my heart did stop more than once, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And that I was on oxygen for so long. So the body does this thing where the easiest way I probably can explain it is from this song that I learned a long time ago. The blood rushes to the place that needs it the most. Mm-hmm. So COVID, even though we know it mainly attacked the lungs, it attacked really a lot of other different places. You heard about people having heart disease afterwards and that kind of thing. And they call it
long-term COVID, right?
So I had long COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 95% of one of my lungs completely incapacitated. The other lung was 100% incapacitated. So we were not immediately, it was something that I had to deal with mentally.
Right.
But the doctors were more concerned about me being able to breathe and talk again with some kind of normal cadency, because even when I started talking again, my cadence was off. Like I would have to like take breaths in between sentences, that kind of thing. And so one of my long COVID things was that the blood needing to be so much in the area of my lungs to heal it.
Right.
A lot of the other areas of my body were blood deficient.
Right.
Including my head. Now, I always loved me a good wig, but I lost all my hair.
After COVID. After you had COVID.
After I had COVID, I lost all my hair.
I don't recall anyone saying that was a symptom of COVID.
So it's called. I used to do these little these. Once I got back on Instagram, I used to do these Instagram conversations because nobody was talking about it. But I started talking about it, about myself, and then found a whole community of people out there that had it. And I'll text you the name of it because there is an actual medical name for it. There's a medical name for it.
And so you lost
I lost all my hair.
All of your hair.
And they tell you that it takes anywhere between 4 to 6 full hair growth cycles to know whether or not your hair is going to come back the same or not.
Right.
So after about the second cycle, I just looked at and I had a hatchet, and one night I didn't say anything. I took my husband's razor and just shaved my whole head. And he walked in the room, and when he saw that I was bald-headed, he just took the razors out of my hands and he just grabbed me and he just gave me a hug and he just held me and just so God, I wish I could remember the name of this thing. Effluvium. Teflugin effluvium.
Okay.
TEFLUGEN or AN. Effluvium. EFFLUVIUM. Teflugin.
Do you have your hair now?
I do have actually enough hair to have myself like a tiny little ponytail, but it hasn't grown back full.
Like it was.
It's not as full as it was. It doesn't grow full and long.
Well, when we talk about the lungs of a singer like yourself, I cannot go without asking, can you still sing like you sing?
Yes, which is the reason why I laugh like I laugh, because I told God, I said, Lord, if I have to be a bald-headed singing heifer, I will do that, because I don't mind paying money for a good wig. I wear wig.
All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and stop it right there. And we're going to wrap up the live after some commentary from this segment. But child, she said, God, if I got to be a bald-headed singing heifer, I promise you, that's enough for me. Child, that's all I need to know, because I can get me a good wig, but I need this voice. I need these vocals, okay? So, Imani, I'm going to let you go ahead and start, girl. I'm going to give some of my thoughts at the end. We'll do our final thoughts and our closing thoughts. And then, of course, we're going to end it with a good bop. But you go ahead. What did you think about this final part of the segment right here?
I love the fact that she said, if I got to be a singing bald-headed heifer. That has got to be the line of the interview. But yeah, I mean,
she's so real.
She's so funny, and she's got an infectious laugh. But yeah, she talked about the fact that people make the mistake of calling her a gospel artist when she considers herself to be an R&B singer that was raised in church. And then, she talks about the misunderstanding when she was supposed to be singing As We Lay, and people mistakenly thought they were attending a gospel program. But and one of the things she says is context matters, and that people frequently judge artists based on and other people based on incomplete information and not asking questions. And an interesting thing that she said, that her husband said to her, that sounds like a repetitive conversation that we have, is that she doesn't have to care about what people think about her, because they'll run with it anyway. They'll run with the narrative they want to. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them the truth. Well, we've seen a lot of this. We talked about a lot of this at the beginning of the interview. And I'm a firm believer. I used to say, to one of my bosses when he used to come to promotion time, I used to say to him, it doesn't matter what you call me, it matters what you pay me. I don't care. I'm not that bothered, because some people are obsessed with what other people think, with titles, with how they're perceived, but they're not really concerned with who they really are. And I'm more concerned if I am doing the right things and who I am. And that's what she was giving a lot of talk about. You should be concerned about who you are, how you behave, and how you treat people, not what a load of heifers think about your life, which they know nothing about. And I'll call them heifers because there's quite a few around, not just the ones talking about Kelly. And, the other thing is, she's just basically come from a I mean, the fact that she was losing her hair was also something that reminded me about, you know, um, my partner had shaved his head because his brother had blood cancer. So both the brothers decided to shave their head at the same time that their brother's hair was falling out. And they just said to their brother, who was quite upset, because obviously, if anybody knows anything about this, trigger warning, sometimes with the treatments, your hair comes out in clumps, and they just shaved their hair off at the same time and said to their brother, we're all bald now. And they both had long hair. So it's kind of like, there's all those things that happened. I hadn't heard that was something that was a byproduct of long COVID, but long COVID she's been through a really difficult time, and she's come out and she's still laughing. And I think this is an interview people should watch, about a combination of things: people talking about you, people spreading rumors about you, going through really bad traumas, and who you cling to. She clings to God and her husband and those who are close to her, who care about her. And the ones that don't care about her, she don't give an F about. Excuse my French. It's a great interview. I would advise people to go over and watch the rest. I don't know what you thought about that, the rest of it.
Again, child, like I said, I'm a wig wearer. Okay. And I like to wear my wigs because it's easy, or whatnot. And I can do different styles and different colors and stuff like that, and not have to manipulate my hair. My mom wears wigs because, unfortunately, due to some of her health conditions and things, but she's been open about this herself. And medications also that she takes. She's had severe hair loss and whatnot, so she wears wigs because of that. And there's people who may wear wigs and extension and stuff. You never know what they got going on or why they do it. I love the realness of it all because, there's so many people that may be experiencing the same thing, or, going through certain things, and they may feel ashamed, or they may feel like, they don't want to talk about it. But, one of the things my mom has taught me to do, and that's, here in the latter part of my life, is just to own your ish and be real about your life, what you got going on. Um, and then nobody can use it and weaponize it against you if you are authentically you. You don't care. And I'll tell you another thing that I find when it comes to some people that don't, and I don't want to say this the wrong way, but they may not fully understand what it's like when you walk with God in Christ You can go through the darkest and the lowest of times, right? And you're very thankful because some of those things you understand there is no way for you to come through it or get out of it if it wasn't for a higher power. And when you have experienced that multiple times in your life, and you know that when the chips are down, that they always going to come back up, you learn how to navigate through the low points and the high points and still be able to laugh no matter which side you're on or which side of the coin you're on. And so a lot of times people resent your smile, they resent your laugh, they resent your resilience and your happiness, even when they feel as though they got you in a gotcha moment. How can this person still be able to laugh? Like, how can this person still be able to love? How can this person still be able to like just kick it and have a good time and act like there's no worries in the world? We call that faith. We call that faith, and we call that knowing that yeah, it's dark right now, things is down right now, but there's always going to be a brighter tomorrow. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through it. And a lot of times when people move that way, it's because they've seen it come to forefront more times than one. Me and my mom and my people, I know a lot of people out there, we seen God bring us through a lot of things. And I'm talking about terrible things. And on the other side of that, we still here. We still alive. So we must be here for a purpose. And so my major goal right now in my life as I've become an adult woman is I want to know what that purpose is for God. Because that's all I want to do. I want to make sure that I'm giving back all that He gives me. And when it comes to like our parents and stuff, when we're talking about like your family and things like that, you rock with the ones who rock with you. You stay 10 toes down for the ones who've been 10 toes down for you. That's just something that I've learned within blood and family, but also my spiritual beliefs. And so I will fight in tooth and nail a lot of times. People that I feel like will fall for me will got me in their corner. And I'll even fight for people who may not necessarily have been in my corner, but because I believe it's the right thing to do and it's what God calls us to do. And that's just something that's in my heart that I've been raised with and that I can't detach from. So I agree, Imani, when you spoke on when Kelly Price said that her husband told her, you are way like too nice. You know what I mean? Like you care too much about what people think and you care about people too much and things of that nature. And it's like, I've been told that a lot. And I know a lot of people don't understand it. And I know I'll get titles for it. And I get laughed at for it and ridiculed for it. They don't understand where that comes from. It don't necessarily come from me. Because y'all know me. There's a side of me that can really not care. They won't care and it can be terrible. But I live my life by a higher force that I allow to embed inside me and my spirit. And it moves me to make the decisions that I make and treat people the way that I treat them and forgive people and give people chances and love people and fight for people, stand up for people, whatever it may be. There is a deeper spirit inside of us all. And once you tap into it or once you realize that it's there, then it navigates you as a human differently through this life. Not just within the flesh, but within the spirit. And once the two entangle and intertwine, you just kind of move a little bit differently sometimes. And I know a lot of people won't understand, but it is what it is. And I think that this conversation really gave us a lot of more, understanding when it comes to that. And so, I did have some final words that I want to give. But before I give my final words, I want you to give yours, Imani, because I know it's a lot later there for you. So you can go ahead and start. I'll do mine, and then we'll end it with bops, per usual.
Yeah, I just wanted to also say once again, for those of you who want to hear a great song from Kelly, she's got loads of great songs. I think Healing is one of my favourites of the many that she's done. I've got lots of favourites, but Healing is is a really great song. And Golden can try singing that afterwards. But, we're not doing karaoke together, Golden.
No, you ain't about to set me up like that. I can't
No.
sing.
Oh, but listen, tonight it wasn't just about Kelly Price, the singer. It was about Kelly Price, the daughter, the granddaughter, the sister, the mother, the wife, the survivor, and the woman who had to learn her greatest achievement wasn't a hit record. It was finding peace after surviving some of life's darkest storms. We often celebrate people's success, but we don't appreciate the journey that produced it. And behind every beautiful song was a sacrifice. Behind every standing ovation was heartbreak. And behind every smile was a battle that most of the world never saw. But one of the greatest lessons tonight is gratitude is a choice. She reminded us that you don't have to come from wealth to become rich in character. You don't have to have had an easy life to become a compassionate person. And sometimes the strongest people are those who have had the least, but yet still found a reason to say thank you. She also reminded us that healing requires courage, and sometimes healing means leaving behind what you've always known. And sometimes it means forgiving people who never apologize and never will. But sometimes it also means choosing your own happiness after years of living for everyone else. And sometimes healing simply means waking up each morning and deciding that today you're going to keep fighting. And I also want to leave you with something that speaks to the culture. And I'm talking about Black culture. Um, Black history isn't only written through marches, through legislation and speeches. It's written through music, through church, through grandparents passing down wisdom, through families surviving difficult times, through artists telling their stories, and through institutions like the Essence Festival that have given generations of Black voices a place to be celebrated. And every generation leaves something behind for the next one to build upon. Um, Kelly's story also reminds us never to rush to judgment. Headlines rarely tell the whole story. Rumors rarely tell the whole story. Social media almost never tells the whole story, and every human being deserves the dignity of having their full story heard before conclusions are reached. And sometimes the most powerful message of all is your circumstances do not define your future. And whether you've experienced a loss or a disappointment, illness, betrayal, financial hardship, or moments where you've wondered if you'd ever smile again, remember that your current chapter is not your final chapter. And as long as God or whoever you believe in, or whoever you pray to, or whoever you worship gives you another day, or if you don't pray to anybody. As long as you get another day, there's another opportunity to rebuild, to forgive, to love, and to learn to grow. And continue to honor, all your loved ones, your friends, your family, your elders, whilst you still have them, especially your elders, people like your grandparents. Ask them those questions you've always wanted to ask. Tell people around you that are close to you you love them. Check on your friends, encourage someone who's struggling, support, your friends, family, our artists, our businesses, our communities, because culture isn't something we inherit once, it's something we protect and pass on. And thank you for spending this evening, morning, night, noon, wherever you are with us. Every conversation, every comment, and every person that comes to this growing community helps us. And we're building a space where we enjoy to share some of the stuff that we like to talk about, some of the stuff we like to watch, and we hope that you enjoy it too. And one thing I'd like to say about Golden is she is very underestimated, and she is a kind, sweet person, and she will put herself out for what she believes is right. And no one can change that. She has to make her own decisions. But the people that really have an issue with Golden need to look at themselves, because to be quite honest with you, I'm not one who looks at looks. Um, I look at what you have on the inside, and some of you are ugly from the inside. Inside, you're ugly on the inside. This is why you talk some of the crap that you talk. This is why you target her, because you wish that you could be the kind and sweet soul that she is. But don't sleep on her, because she will come for you when she's ready. And don't play with her. Don't think she's a slouch. She's not. She's actually giving you a little bit of grace, sometimes too much grace, as far as I'm concerned. And thank you, everybody. But stay safe. God bless you. Stay healthy. Choose gratitude. Keep choosing hope, and keep moving forward with love, faith, wisdom, and purpose. And I'll see you all the next time. I know it was a bit of a long one, but thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you so much for that, Imani. That was beautiful per usual. And thanks for saying that, about me. And all it really takes is for someone to really get to know you, to figure it out. But you also have a very loving soul and a kind spirit as well. And one things I can tell y'all about Imani, and she said this on the last live, okay? If you come for one of us, you come for all of us. And I love that she has that spirit. She's like the big sister. It's like not gonna let her little sister be a targeted attack or anything. Child, she gonna pop out and show out. And little sis gonna be fighting right beside her. So, you may not understand how people connect. You may not understand maybe even those family dynamics. And that's okay. And that's not to make you feel bad because you don't get it. And one of the things that I love, because I am an only child, is the fact that I've been able to meet and connect with such great people throughout the journey of my life that I feel sisterly vibes from, not even being from the same bloodline. And that's about being human. That is what we can have as people. We don't necessarily all have to be related through blood, but we all are related and tethered to the source. And if we connect with each other and we bind by one another, we really can fight through a lot of the challenges that we have together as a whole. And that's one of the things that I fight for. That's one of the things that I speak for and I do my content for, is that I hope that we can see together we are stronger. We have to bind together. But I do have a few things that I wanted to just wrap up and say about, Kelly Price's interview. And then we will have, and yes, y'all, we will have Mama Warrior wants to come and recite a poem. I know that was laughed about as well, but I never knew that poetry would be something people would laugh at. But anyway, here's some heartfelt lessons to leave behind. Protect your narrative with silence or absolute truth. Kelly reminded us that you don't owe an explanation to the world looking for a spectacle. When people misunderstand your pain, your healing is for you and God, not for the court of public opinion. Give grace to evolving relationships. A rocky or messy start with someone doesn't mean it can't evolve into a beautiful bond. When both sides prioritize honesty and mutual respect, growth is inevitable. True sisterhood allows room for apologies and elevation. And your happy is a daily boundary. Finding happy again isn't waiting for life to stop hurting. It's about setting boundaries against negativity, despite the hurt being there. Royalty means knowing what belongs at your table and what needs to be left outside the castle gates. And so I do have a closing spiritual message. Give me a second, y'all. I told you I'm sick a little bit. All right. So before we log off today, I want to center our hearts, and I want to leave you with a message of pure love, light, and spiritual alignment. Look at what Kelly Price went through. Look at what so many of us go through in dark hours when the cameras are off and we're facing our heaviest trials. I need you to understand that the fire you are walking through right now isn't meant to consume you. It is purifying you. God did not bring you this far to abandon you in the valley. Your crying might feel heavy, and it might even slightly be tilted from time to time. Lord knows mine is. But from the warfare you've been fighting, it belongs to you by divine right. Do not let the noise of the world erase the melody that God put in your soul. You are loved, you are protected, and you are built to survive the very things that weren't meant to destroy you. Lift your head up, look at yourself in the mirror, and remember who you are. You are royalty. And as we stand flat footed in our power today, I want to leave you with immortal words from the legendary Dr. Maya Angelou. Let these words wash over your spirit as we close out today's live. Now, Mama Warrior is going to be reading this poem because, yes, she's a poet. She used to write poetry when she was young and songs. And so, yeah, she does that. So let me go get Mama Warrior. She'll be reciting this poem after this little quick song break, and we'll be ending the live. Thank y'all so much for your time, and we'll be right back.
Cradle and Gloria in excelsis. Yeah, I've been through the fire, walked through the rain, felt that pressure, felt that pain. They told me it was over, told me just give in, but they don't know the power that's living within. Yeah, I'm looking at the mountain, telling it to move. I got a different rhythm, I got a different groove. The chains are getting heavy, well, I'm getting strong. The king is on the throne, yeah, that's where I belong. Now the night is over, I see the day. All the breakthroughs coming, it's here to stay. I face the victory, come what may. It's here to stay. Something has to break. I feel it in the air. I'm casting every burden, casting every care. One night of weeping, but the morning is bright. We're walking out of darkness and into the light. Check the track record, he never failed yet. The miracle is coming, yeah, that's a safe bet. From the impossible to the it is done. The battle's already over, the victory is won. So let the strings soar, let the heavens open wide. I got the creator of the universe on my side. It's here to stay. The morning is here. Something has to break. The morning is here. Something has broken.
Oh wow, I really do love that song. I love that. Something's got to break. I love that. Hey, it's Mama Warrior, Gigi Fox here with you. And I have come in on the end. I have been in the chat. First of all, let me say welcome. I love you guys in the chat. So glad you are with us. And I have enjoyed this live. I have teared through this live. I have gotten emotional through this live. And it's just been a great live. But I want to go on to do a poem. And as we stand flat-footed in our power today, I want to leave you with the immortal words of our legendary matriarch, Dr. Maya Angelou, and let these words wash over your spirit as we close out today. Now, I am not a Maya Angelou, but I'm going to do the best that I can, all right? So, Still I Rise is the title. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may tride me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Do you want to see me broken, bow-headed and lowered eyed, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Do you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh, I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hate, but still like air, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history, shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I'll rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and wide. Welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. And so, no matter what they write, no matter what they say, and no matter what the storm looks like, still we rise. And I hope that you will have enjoyed that. Okay, this is Mama Warrior DG Fox signing out. Thank you, Ma. That was lovely. I love to hear you recite your poetry. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and end it. But again, thank you to Tammi Mac and the Inflection Network. Thank you, Imani, my lovely co-host, for anchoring this with me today. Thank you, Mama Warrior, for reading that lovely poem. And thank you all, the royal family. We love you. We value you. And we will see you all in the next broadcast. So stay royal, stay blessed, and walk in your purpose. We're going to end it with about per usual. And y'all going to see me around in the chat shout because you know we got to support our people right here. So I believe one of our other great sisters is still alive. I'm going to go ahead and head over there after I end this one out, y'all. But thank y'all so much for rocking with us. You'll see us probably again tomorrow. And I don't know. We don't know just yet what we're going to do. But thanks for your participation today. All right, y'all. Golden, Imani, and Mama Warrior signing out. Bye.
It's a collective thing, you know. Yeah, high freaks. We just rising. Watch the elevation.
To look for God in the clouds and my head down. Now I see the kingdom in the people, it's a spread now. Love is a currency, we don't need a gold crown. We lifting everybody up, we don't let us soul drown. It's that eternal glow, yeah, that spiritual fastness. Turning all our trials into heavenly access. We moving past the labels and the religious brackets. When love is the language, we don't need a tactic. Love is the the way that we climb, leaving all the heavy, bitter pieces behind. It's in the sunshine, our soul intervention, living in the higher, holy dimension. Deep in the collective, we finding the frequency. A brotherhood rising with spirit decency. No more division, we killing the vacancy. Filling the void with a holy complacency. From the concrete roots to the celestial heights, we shining together like cityscapes. Light, it's a long road home, but the vision is clear. Love is the only thing conquering fear. Elevation isn't just about going up. It's about bringing everyone with you. One soul, one heart, one vision. One vision, mission. Love is love. It's the way that we climb, leaving all the heavy, bitter pieces behind. It's an ascension, a soul intervention, living in a higher, holy dimension. Collective energy, no one left behind. That's the elevation. Ascension.
They don't know her like I do. Nah. She moved through the city with her hair held high. Pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blur. Trying not to cry when the memories occurred. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know her like I. She goes by golden, soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by golden. City lights dancing with her heart stay open. Long dark roads, but she still stay focused. Everybody watching, but they don't really know her. Too much grace with the games they throwing. Real love, rare, so spirits they guarded. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace for the whole world leave wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just cause smiles hot and being hidden the big. She's still soft-hearted but she way less naive. Can't keep pouring love where there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself chasing illusions. She survived the fire. Still glowing through the smoke. Still still dangerous. Still chosen. She goes back golden. Slow so deep made the whole room notice. Heavy lies couldn't break what was chosen. Still standing tall while the whole world folding. She goes back golden. Heartbreak turned to pentatic. Now the tears got rhythm when she's singing. And they still don't know her like they still don't know her like that. Spend so much time looking for love in strangers. Spend so much time. Spend too much time letting outside voices shake the mirror. But at the end of the night,
is dry, we still got